Howdy, my name is Caleb Starjak, but you can just call me Starjak if you'd like. I'm currently a sophomore on Blinn Team pursuing a degree in Human Resource Development, and I'm on a scholarship with the NROTC, which means Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps, with the United States Marine Corps to eventually commission into the Marine Corps upon college graduation, which I then hope to make into my career field. I do have two pets, one named Gizmo, one named Ohiko, who are both French Bulldogs. On my downtime, you are likely to find me at the gym or somewhere running around in campus. Other hobbies include hiking, more sports, the occasional video games, and listening to music. No matter what I'm doing, I will likely at least have one headphone in listening to music. It's just the way it is, which is honestly kind of the reason why I chose to take this class. I chose to take this class because I really enjoy listening to music, and I've honestly observed the effects that it has on me, my mood, and my mentality at times. For example, if I am listening to someone like Pitbull, I'm very uplifted and happy. But if I am listening to something more slow, such as Christian music or Hillsong United, I am more attentive to the words and the lyrics, and my mind is able to focus a little bit more. I think music is an interesting subject to study in itself, and besides the 3 credit hours for creative arts, I hope to further my understanding of music, its rich history, and how it impacts people. Regarding my musical taste, I'm not too picky with what I'm listening to. I prefer not to listen to music with too much vulgar music or abusive amounts of inappropriate notions. I would like to say that when comparing to other genres, I tend to listen to classical and jazz just a little bit less than the others. And while I do still like to listen to classical at times, the more popular ones that I tend to listen to are things like pop, rock, Christian music, things like that. And so, for a little visual aid, I actually printed out my Spotify most listed to top genres in the last 12 months. And at number 1, I have pop. At number 2, I have contemporary Christian music. Number 3, I just have Christian music. Number 4 sits at Christian alternative rock, and number 5 is rock. Now, I don't know what happened to number 6 in the printing process, but number 7 is modern rock, number 8 is worship, number 9 is singer-songwriter pop, number 10 is rap, 11 is contemporary country, and number 12 is hip-hop. So that's just kind of a little visual of the top genres that I tend to listen to. So, let's get down into the nitty-gritty of what the actual assignment is asking. The 2 songs that I'm going to be analyzing today are Just Dance, which is sung by Lady Gaga and Colby O'Donis. This pop song was released in 2008 and is my chosen song that tends to energize me a little bit more. On the other hand, Chasing Cars was sung by Snow Patrol. This alternative indie song was released in 2006 and is a song that has a more calming effect on me. The song Just Dance is consistent to an upbeat pattern with a higher pitched melody containing repetitive beats that form a harmonious pattern. The rhythmic pattern follows a 3-beat sequence which features a stronger note every 3rd beat. This song's fast-paced tempo, measured at 119 beats per minute, plays a role in its ability to get a nice shimmy in the shoulders and a happy feeling to its audience. Furthermore, the drums in the background and the assistance of the featured singer, Colby O'Donis, helps bring contrast and a nice blend to Lady Gaga's vocal reach. In addition to this, the sequential echoing of her voice after it being initially said correlates to the loudness and softness of the same words being said simultaneously, thus causing a faster beat and resulting in a more positive emotional response from the audience. In comparison to the hit song Just Dance by Lady Gaga, I believe the low-tone sound of Chasing Cars achieves a different goal. While Just Dance is a great song, I truly appreciate the uniqueness behind Chasing Cars. The lyrics in this song can be interpreted differently and leaves room for its audience to think about how they want to perceive it. For some, this song could represent the loss of a loved one. For others, it could be a feeling of hopelessness and confusion. Additionally, the name itself, Chasing Cars, could be viewed as a reference or a metaphor to chasing something you fear might be too fast to catch. For example, in the song, the lyrics are said, "If I just lay here, Would you lie with me and just forget the world? To me, this symbolizes the singer's contenting desire for love and the singer's primary source of happiness coming from that love. However, when going back and referring to the title Chasing Cars, he formats that as a question because of the possible fear that the car could be love, dreams, admiration, whatever it may be, would drive away without him. He fears doubt in losing the one thing that may bring him happiness. This song is all about interpretation and is strongly encouraged to the audience's own experiences and how they relate the lyrics back to their own understanding. The slow rhythm follows a simple 3-riff pattern from a guitar, which simultaneously rotates the harmony between a medium and low tone. The tempo is played at a pace of 104 beats per minute. In comparison to Just Dance, it is slower, however, it lacks the extra rhythmic intricacy that was consistent in Just Dance. Instead, the continuous A major, D major, and E major pattern being played by the guitar plays a role in its higher beat per minute. But the singer sings at a slower and more drawn-out pace, which brings further attention to the lyrics and the instrumental effects, which then tends to create a more emotional sense to the audience and connection between the audience and the song. Furthermore, its harmony focuses on a smaller number of chords being played in a repetitive manner, which causes a minor tonality and centralized focus on its somber tone and droning voice, which is capable of creating, again, that sad emotional response between the audience and the song. To close, I found it interesting how the song is consistent in its slow and limited pattern, but towards the end of the song, it includes a strong presence of drums and a raise in his voice. This could possibly be an emotional upbringing of sadness and anger, or something such as anxiety, because he is beginning to see more doubt in what he is asking for. He's missing the longing, and he feels like he's not going to be able to get what he's asking for. Lastly, just as the final verse is sung, the rhythm of the song begins to really slow down, and the singer not only slows down his singing, but you can even hear a sense of him giving up. Again, it is all up to perception, and it is ultimately up to you to interpret the intended response or story of this musical masterpiece. After analyzing my two songs, I believe I can come to a conclusion that Just Dance is rooted in pop music, whereas Chasing Cars is rooted in R&W. I concluded that Just Dance is rooted in pop music because of the similar focus on expressing positivity, in this case, dancing, and not worrying much about the bad stuff in the world. Finding the root of Chasing Cars, on the other hand, was a little bit more tough, because while it came down to me believing it to be R&W at the root, I juggled between that and pop, because I had trouble finding a relationship between the song Chasing Cars and segregation. However, after further study, I learned that R&W follows a 12-bar blues form, which is a 3-4-bar segment. Similarly, Chasing Cars follows that as well. The final clue was the fact that Chasing Cars can be interpreted, as I said in response to my prior question, to have been a metaphor for an individual chasing something they are likely not going to get. Likewise, the segregated men and women sought freedom and equal rights, but at the same time, there was little hope that they would receive it. Now, I have had just about 9 minutes to talk about my response to this whole prompt. However, I would like to get to know you all a little bit more. It's the beginning of the class, and I'd like to get to know my classmates a little bit more. So, in consideration on my take behind the individual perception on the meaning behind the song Chasing Cars, how do you interpret it, and how does this relate to you in any way? I look forward to hearing you all. Thank you.